What young boy in the 2010s haven't played Black Ops? I mean, it was the greatest thing to have. I'll tell you, very few. Well, you already knew that, didn't you? One day you get tired of playing multiplayer because you're a young child playing against a 20-something-year-old, and they say some like wild stuff, man. One day you look through the menu to see what else you can play, then you see it. Zombies. You either paid it no mind, or you just didn't want to play it because it was scary. But you go pressing the word, and the UI and music changed. The normal music from the main game became different, more bone-chilling, sinister even. And you kind of get nervous seeing the zombies flash through the TV. And then you see it. The man on the window. And in the window. Before he was trying to get information from you, but now he walks off screen. Then you see him coming back, but shuffling back. Now hitting the window trying to break in, and then it hits you. Then he became a zombie, and you're strapped down in a chair with no way of escape. Like most of you, but certainly not me. You get scared, turn off the TV, hide, play some Mario on your DS, but after you build up courage, you go experience your first zombie map in your life. Of the DLC of Black Ops 1. You see the final map. And it's on the moon?! You mean I can be on the moon? The hype was unreal. Seeing the trailers of the map, seeing men in moon facilities killing and testing on zombies with a new wonder weapon. And then, the map dropped. After waiting for the DLC to download on your Xbox, you and your buddies go explore the map, trying to do the Easter egg with the help of certain YouTubers, and finally succeed and see the nuke drop on the world. What comes racing in your mind? What are they going to do with zombies? Today, we'll be talking about zombies. More specifically, Black Ops 2 zombies. Because I find it a unique entry of the Black Ops series, and I have the least experience than the rest of the series. I want to look back at one of my favorite modes in gaming history. Also, I just want to talk about something I'm passionate about. Wait, before we start, I won't be doing the Easter eggs on the Victis maps. I'll be doing Mob of the Dead and Origins, but not the Victis. Okay? I think we can agree. Victis was like the worst Easter eggs. Come on. I ain't doing that. We will be going over the story. So basically, Richtofen found all the items he needed to take down Samantha. So he takes the Ultimates crew to the moon. They arrive at the moon, Richtofen takes over Samantha's body. After all this time, he finally takes full power of the ether. Maxis, as an AI, basically tells the Ultimates crew the only way to stop Richtofen is to blow up the Earth. After following the steps that Maxis gave them, they ready up the missiles, and then the Earth blows up. 10 years pass since the moon incident, and the whole world's in chaos. Zombies everywhere, everyone's dying horribly, in painful deaths, and there's only pain and suffering. It's pretty horrible for the Earth. But few believed if they ate zombie flesh, they would be able to find salvation, which caused the formation of the flesh. If you know Richtofen, that's opportunity. So basically he tells them to do whatever he wants. But of course, there's opposition, and it's Maxis, but we don't really know his full reason on why he wants to stop Richtofen, besides the obvious, but he's also causing chaos. So the two groups fight for a long time until the final battle with Max's group and Richtoven's The Flesh have one final bout, and they both die from zombies, which is kind of like anticlimactic, and we never see it in game, which is really lame because it would have been really awesome, but you know, deadlines. The remaining survivor of The Flesh is Stuhlinger, which is really surprising. I'm surprised that he lived, but anyway, Richtoven used him as a puppet afterwards. Then Rushman finds him, you know, they take the bus, then they find Misty and Marlton, then the story of Transit takes place. The characters of the Victis crew. Personally, I find them okay. I know they weren't liked when they were first released, but it's kind of hard coming after the Ultimus crew, but I do feel like over time they get a lot more love. Not a lot of love, not even like a little love, but better than nothing. Well, I guess we should start with the most important one of the story, Stuhlinger. I like Stuhlinger. I believe that he's a very interesting character, because he was in The Flesh. But we don't really get any more details in a couple of cutscenes. But anyway, he gained the ability to hear zombies in Richtoven because he ate zombie flesh. Because he was part of the zombie cult people. And basically became Richtoven's lackey. And Rustman found him later in Transit. His whole personality is, he's very paranoid. Because he's a conspiracy man. He just wants to find answers for everything, even for the dumbest stuff. Also, the events that happened to the Earth, and the fear that his crew could know his past, which would most likely lead to death. I don't see how the group would react to him being in the flesh, because we never see that plot point ever used. Barely. Maybe one of the characters would bring it up, and then Stuhlinger would just wave it off, or like play around with it. And that's pretty much it. Also, he can be like the most unhinged character sometimes. Not as Richtoven, but in his own special way. Rustman! I think he's an alright character. It's kinda cool. He was a former Broken Arrow agent. I think that's pretty much it for him. I think there's more for him in the comics or Black Ops 4 or whatever, but there's really nothing to Rustman, sadly. I mean, I guess when I was a kid, I thought he was just some random hobo who wanted money, but I don't know. He's Rustman. Okay, I just feel like he was done dirty on Black Ops 2. Like, they really didn't do anything with him. Like, at all. The only thing they had for him was he was a former Broken Arrow operative. And we don't even know why he's kicked out in the first place, or why he doesn't remember it at all. Rustman has potential, but there's really nothing to him. And to everyone's favorite, Marlton. Okay, he's not a complete waste of space. Because I do remember him being really useful in the comics, saving like everyone in the crew from Sophia. But like that's all I can give him. Wait a minute. He is voiced by Scott Manville. He did play Robin. Okay, that's a little more credit, but that's literally all. Like, his whole character trait is a nerd. I guess that it's cool that he can list off pros and cons on each weapon. I guess. But that's literally all. And also, like, the only map he's on besides the Victis maps are on Nuketown, which shows him he was cowarding in like the bunker or whatever, which really brings nothing to his character. Like, was he a former CIA agent? Was he something? I don't know. They really don't do anything with this guy. Now I'm thinking, is the Victis crew really that good? And to everyone's favorite from the Victis crew is Misty. I believe she's a really well-rounded character. She's simple, but she's also cool. Also, I like her interactions with Marlton. And no, I don't give Marlton points because she's a lot more active character. And I find her backstory interesting, how she was like a farm girl, and also like knew knife fighting, and lost her father. I found that was really cool. But overall, I'm thinking about it, I don't think the Victis crew is that good of a crew. Like, what do they really bring to anything besides being used for Richtofen and Maxis? And that kind of bummed me out, because I was really into them for a while. Then I realized, wow, they really do not bring anything. And I kind of understand why they were not liked when seeing the final zombie map with them instead of the Ultimates or Premise crew. Yeah, I don't think the Victis crew is that good. And I just realized that after saying they're okay. Like, the only one I would take is Misty and Stillinger. But like, the rest is like really hit or miss. Transit, what can I tell you about this map that everyone else already knows? Well, I can at least say this map isn't the de facto worst of all time anymore. Thanks to many, and I mean many, awful maps that came after, Transit gained a somewhat good reputation, I guess. Still doesn't mean it's one of the greatest, God no. It's like high tier and F. Okay, let's get down to business. If I could put Transit into one word, it would be annoying. Building Wonder Weapon? Annoying. Going to different places? Annoying. Doing the Easter egg? Annoying. If you're doing it with like friends, then I guess it's okay. Let's go over the new mechanics of what Transit brung. Brung? Whatever. For example, the buildables. Like, they're a good thing that Transit introduced, and it would be heavily improved on later maps. And I guess the other good thing it brung was permaperks. It's a very interesting system. It can be helpful, like keeping all your perks after you get downed, getting the ray gun from the Olympia wall buy. But even with those mechanics, there are still problems with it. As for the buildables, the only one you'll be using is the turbine. It can be found in the bus depot. It's basically a portable battery. It can open doors and power up perks, but that's kind of useless because the perks are useless when you don't turn on the main power. Also, it can make portals when you put it under streetlights and get attacked by a denizen for some reason. You have to make the buildables piece by piece, and some buildables aren't even worth it because the buildables are worthless. Like the machine gun and the lightning trap. And also you need the turbine for them, which is kind of impossible in solo. And if you keep out the turbine for too long, it breaks on its own, or a zombie would destroy it. Clearly, those traps are made for multiplayer, but they're still useless if you're in multiplayer. If you could use multiple buildables at a time, then maybe they would be used. And what is the point of the shield if you need the turbine for opening a pack-a-punch and transportation? And we'll get to the jet gun later in this video. I'll give Transit credit. I will say that the boss zombie is cool. The Aljagadro does have a cool mechanic. Like when you are about to encounter him, you'll see thunderstorms in the area. It builds a sense of suspense. It's just really cool. Also, the boss isn't annoying, which is surprising. He tries to shock you with lightning, but it's pretty easy to dodge, and also melee is the only way you can cause damage to him. But if you have the knuckles or the Bowie knife, it's only a couple hits. So overall, pretty good boss fight. And talking about the gavel knuckles, they're probably the coolest melee they ever introduced. They're basically stronger Bowie knife. And the way to get them is to use the ladder upgrade for the bus and install it to the roof on the diner. And they're just the coolest. Okay, let's go over the locations. You start with the bus station, just your standard spawn area, which has the turbine and quick revive. After that, there's the tunnel. Only thing that is to notice is the jet gun piece. Tunnels are really just the in-between to the diner. The diner has the buildables for the shield, also gavel knuckles. It also has the mystery box, which will always be here first. Also, that's pretty much it for the diner. Farm, there's nothing to farm. Like, farm is like the most useless place in the whole map. I'm surprised that they even made this. It only has double tap, and I guess the fridge, which can hold a gun from a previous game. So yeah. Then there's cornfields. It has I don't know, it has the tower, and it's pretty important for the Easter egg. And for some reason, not Dion Toten is here. I don't know why it's here, because it's in Germany, but I think the reason that not Dion Toten is here is because they want to show you how far zombies came as a mode. Starting as a reused asset in World at War, to an expansive map with multiple areas in Black Ops 2. But to be honest, I'd rather be playing Notch Dion Toten. And I know that's kind of controversial. And then there is the power station, where you get power, jet gun piece, and that's pretty much it. Then after that, there's the cabin in the woods. It has the Bowie knife and the jet gun piece. But I will say, this map is probably the most unsettling part of Transit, because it feels something horrible happened here. Like a serial killer's home before the bombs fell, or a place where they led innocent people to kill them. And the final place is Town, which as a survival map is 10 times better than Transit. But that's my opinion. Town has Jug and Stamina. To be honest, I feel like these perks are the worst spots possible, because the amount of times you get double slapped in BO2 is ridiculous. I think it's even worse than BO1. And they expect average players to wait, like start at bus depot and go to town and not expect them to like die. And also Stamina's also a bad place, because you need to run a lot in this map. That's all I gotta say about these locations. Some of them are really cool and atmospheric and really leaves an impression on the player, but some of them are really not needed at all. Like, what's the point of farm? Like, really, besides double tap. And I guess the buildable for the turret, I guess? Like, they really didn't think of the importance of every location. And I feel like that's a really big flaw with this map. Like, all these locations are not equal in any way. This may surprise you, but now we're getting into the negatives. The main negative is Ted himself, because you have to wait for Ted. And also, Ted hits that perfect spot for being the most unreliable transportation system in all of zombies. He takes way too long to get running. When you get into a bad spot, like a whole zombie horde gangs up on you, and you have no way of getting out because Ted's just waiting there, it's not fun. Also, it's way too fast. Like, if you miss it because you're trying to turn on power, it's pretty much impossible to keep up with the bus without stamina. But don't worry, we'll get a better companion in every way soon. Just don't. Some may wonder, just don't use the bus. Two things with that: fog and denizens. One, fog, you can't see anything in front of you, and it makes walking anywhere horrible and tiresome. And the main reason why the fog is here is because it would crash transit if there's nothing to slow you down because of the engine of the time. And two, the little gremlins, denizens, they make the whole map, they will not make you like this map at all. There are the embodiment of annoying. They basically bear hug your face, slow you down, and just wants to make you break your controller. And they kill you if you try to get over lava. and they can kill you if you just don't keep on knifing them. Also, they're ugly, and their mom don't love them. I don't know. So clearly, the developers don't want you to walk on foot. And guess where most of the jet gun parts are? Fog. And guess how useful the jet gun is? I'll give you a hint. Useful would feel insulted saying its name next to the jet gun. The jet gun can suck up zombies and also blows up when you use it too long. Also, it can kill you because it also sucks you closer to the zombies. If I can give you a hint, don't use it at all. It's a complete waste of time, and I died multiple times making this weapon. Just forget building it. That's all I'm gonna say about the jet gun. So overall, wait a minute. I forgot to bring up Pack-a-Punch. It's not worth it. So basically, to open Pack-a-Punch, you have to get your turbine, place it in the power room, and hope it doesn't break, and run to town. Go to the bank and hope the door opens. I never got Pack-a-Punch solo. I just find it really annoying. Transit, even with all your problems, I will never say you're a bad experience. Yes, a bad map, but not a waste. I had a lot of memories with my brother when we were kids trying to figure out how to get Pack-a-Punch, and so many secrets were throughout the whole map. And while recording this video, I found a nice guy who helped me make the jet gun. And we had a fun time playing Transit together. So is Transit a bad map? Yes. But is it a bad experience? I personally don't think so. Oh my god, we finally finished this video. You don't understand how hard this video was to make. It took me like a month. And it's not even at the quality I want it to be, but this is my first video. Well, first video that I'm continuing to do. So I hope you guys like it. I put like a lot of work. I was studying for college, everything. It was just a lot to do in so little time. But I promise you the audio will be better for the next video. The quality and mostly the jokes, because I feel like I could have done way better on the jokes. But I appreciate it if you guys do watch this video. I'm so happy that I'm done with this video. I don't even want to look at Transit anymore. Thank you and goodbye.